Crypto kids, this is not good. President Trump is hurting crypto. This morning we fell from the mid 93s into the $91,000 level. President Trump is doing this with the increase of geopolitical tensions. He posted an American flag in Greenland. He also posted a photo on Truth Social where America essentially owns Canada and Greenland, and the issues of geopolitical tensions are causing Bitcoin to come to the downside. Obviously, if you've been an avid watcher of the CryptoKid channel, we said geopolitical tensions, specifically this one with the EU, it is not something that's positive for price action. Probably will get resolved in the future, but in the short term, it's nothing that's great. And also, we've had a pending CME gap down at $88,200. This was the first time I posted about the 1 hourly time frame where we had that head and shoulders. I've mentioned the CME gap. I said if we break below 94.7, then we will make a move towards the CME gap at 88.2. I got a little bit of, not so nice comments, but it's okay because I get it, right? I sympathize. When Bitcoin is going up, but there's a CME gap to the downside, it just doesn't feel nice. It doesn't feel nice. The truth is, 97% of the time, these CME gaps do end up closing. There's a little bit more of a bigger warning sign than just the CME gap, which I will get into later on in the video. Liquidity, precious metals, and Ethereum. I'm planning on closing Ethereum trades that I've been opening over on weeks since Ethereum was at $1.6 thousand to get that update on why I would be potentially considering to close my Ethereum positions. Watch until the end. If this is your first time tuning into a CryptoKid video, also make sure to subscribe. We're very close to 65,000 subscribers. We're here every single day, giving you the latest and best in the crypto industry. If you're looking for a place to be trading cryptocurrencies and follow along with our future trades, like the one that I could be taking here on Ethereum, I'm even considering a shorts, then make sure you're prepared with a week's account. The first link in the description will get you up to a $30,000 deposit bonus. It takes 40 seconds to sign up and it's available in many regions across the world. So check it out. We also have a trading competition that we're running. Second link in the description down below. Let's begin with the Bitcoin price action. So obviously we fell below that head and shoulders pattern. We fell below the $94,700 supports, and we are currently making our move into that CME gap closure. So everything is going according to plan. The CME gap exists at 88.2. So I can show you this right over here on the CME chart. If we go down, here it is. Some people were saying that they couldn't find it. It took place on the first week of Jan, so it was the 2nd of Jan. Right there, that is the gap, and price is currently heading towards it. I think Bitcoin will close it. We even mentioned that Bitcoin had a bearish divergence on its RSI here. I think that was also another contributor to why Bitcoin is falling. Narratives sort of come and go, right? But the real driver of market moves is the technical analysis, and the technical analysis was bearish at a bearish divergence, so on and so forth. So I think in the short term, the gap will close. What is more concerning than the gap is the bear flag that's being created. Again, when Bitcoin pumped to 97, we said don't get too excited. We have resistance from the highest value, the highest area of demand, and obviously demand for buying and demand for selling. That was at 97, 96.8. We said don't get too excited. It can cause a rejection. It's a very strong line of resistance. We're getting that rejection, and now we're in a bear flag. If you don't know, these patterns have about a 70% chance of breaking to the downside. When we close the CME gap, that's going to already take you below the line of support. If you lose $84,400, this low created here, you would have confirmed the bear flag and you would have entered into a very low area of volume and demand. When there's very low demand, then prices just sort of trickle down. And my expectation is if we end up losing that line of support at 84.6, and also obviously the support of the bear flag itself, then I think there is a very high likelihood that Bitcoin closes the area of tremendous amounts of liquidity building up, and that is exactly in the low 70s, and it would take you into a lower low on the macro. It would take you below the low of April of 2025, which funnily enough happened because of tariffs as well. So I think Bitcoin is in a stage where most people are in denial that we're transitioning from a bull into a bear market. It's normal. A lot of people are sour about me being bearish, but it's just, I need to keep it real with you. I've been doing this for the past 6 years. And it's always like this, when you're in that transition phase, even if all the facts and data point towards a bearish Bitcoin, you feel emotional about it. But look, if we still have some hopium, if we break below those levels, then sadly I expect Bitcoin to go into the low 70s and create a lower low on the macro time frame. And at that point, we can reevaluate. I still believe that Bitcoin will reach its 200-day moving average. So I'm not going to be closing my positions until Bitcoin tests that. That's the area I'm going to be shorting from. That's the area that I'm going to be taking profits from my Bitcoin holdings. Okay, so that covers Bitcoin. I will mention to you Ethereum, and then we can go into precious metals. So Ethereum also has this huge bearish pattern. It is a head and shoulders, right, on a macro time frame. We spoke about it many videos ago, and I've stated that if we lose this neckline, I'm going to take profits and close my positions on Ethereum, which I've been opening and keeping open for a while on weeks. I'm going to do that. And the price that's going to determine that closure to the downside is the 2.948. If we break below with a daily confirmation, I may even go into a short. So stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed and have the notification bell on, because that could be a cool opportunity, a short on Ethereum. On the macro, don't get me wrong, I'm very bullish on Ethereum. Yesterday we spoke about the tokenization and how layer ones will benefit tremendously. I still believe so. And as long as Ethereum is holding the support line of this macro bullish ascending triangle, which is at like $1.9, $1.8, I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. And I will be buying a bunch of Ethereum there if we decide to see a drop. Because I think the macro is bullish. I think the ISM will flip bullish. And I think Ethereum will do really well in 2027 and beyond. Precious metals are going up. Today, gold was able to reach 4.7K per ounce for the first time in history. Silver is at $95 per ounce. Unfortunately, cryptocurrencies are not trading as risk-off assets. They're not trading as inflation hedge assets. Usually they should be doing it, but it's just we're not there in terms of market maturity and market understanding, so we're more correlated than the S&P than we are to anything else. Speaking of the devil, S&P is creating the same rising wedge as it did when you had that tariff breakdown in April. If we break below that support line on the S&P, then the S&P will drop vigorously. And we know that Bitcoin is obviously a risk-off asset correlated to the S&P 500, so that would increase your chances of coming into those low 70s and maybe even into the mid 60s as discussed on 2 videos ago now. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you all on the next update very soon. Take care, guys, and as always, bye-bye.